The business of oil theft in Nigeria helped to reinforce the capital business in Europe and in America. So they encourage our people. If you look at the trajectory of the money theft, illicit financial flow out of the country, where does it go? It goes to the tax havens and financial system. It helped the financial Europe. It helped the international community.
The nonchalant attitude towards trafficking, border security, disunity among the people, security challenges, all forms of security, food security, health security, economic security, personal security, community security, environmental security, and all other forms of security. Do we have these in Nigeria? These are push factors that make our youth go out.
Well, in terms of illegal migration, there's a study by NOI Polls. It says that 73% of Nigerian youth are willing to leave Nigeria. This is something that should be of concern to all of us.
Nigeria has become the capital of the poorest of the poor. Over 133 million Nigerians are poor, below poverty line.
The percentage of trafficking in persons that occur domestically is much, much higher with respect to Nigerians that are trafficked abroad.
How is crude oil stolen? Taps, fraudulent metering, and illegal allocations. There's hot tapping and there's cold tapping. Hot tapping means you tap into a line, most times they encase it, pump out the water, then crack it open, incise it, put the valve, and they put their own connection.
This crude is conveyed by huge tankers of the size of 2 football fields. I think one of the vessels that was recently involved was said to have a capacity of 3 million liters of crude. How can that miss all our security agents passing through the high seas to our coastal waters and lifting crude?
Nigerians go out, they bring them back. Immediately they bring them back, we keep the passports, we block them for 5 years.
Some of them are trafficked because of deception, but there are those who actually traffic themselves. They submitted themselves to be trafficked because they want the good things of life, and especially Benin. They believe that some of those fancy houses, they are owned by those that have been trafficked before and they have made. So some parents will say, see your life. You see this person, what are you using your body for? So sometimes parents actually encourage their words to go into that. Now, for the society, it gives bad image. Even when you are going out for a genuine reason, once you hold a green passport, you are subjected to various things.
If you have reason to travel and migrate, follow the due process, do it in a decent way. Not the one that I see. If you go to New York, as I speak to you now, there are many Nigerians and Ghanaians that have traveled by road or by sea to America. They are sick. They are there. If you like, go to Bronx. They are there, languishing. Many of them die on the process.
It's not every day you come to a program and people are putting environment on the front burner for conversation, because people think there are more pressing issues to discuss. But when we destroy this environment, who is going to, what's the future generation going to have? When you go to Lake Chad Basin now, even that water that used to be very popular where the fish is happening, is no longer there.
Issue of environment is not a one-man show. It's responsibility of all. And in the area of sensitization or awareness creation we talk about, currently in Nigeria, nationwide or nationally, we have a national stakeholder forum on issue of wildlife crime and forest, to combat wildlife and forest crime in Nigeria. And all the relevant agencies are part of this stakeholder forum, including the National Orientation Agency.
There's so much leakages, oil theft and the rest. And our oil is the mainstay of our economy. 95% leaking away. We're only benefiting 5%. How can we grow?
When you're committing an environmental crime, you'll find that just about every other crime that is an organized crime can be committed within that line. So what do we do about it? The National Security Advisor is a very good structure to have a fusion center. Intelligence. While I was an investigator, some of the best cases I've had success with, both in terms of investigation all the way to prosecution, are cases that have had very good collaboration with every other law enforcement, including civilians. You can't underestimate the amount of information that you get from civilians. We ignore that sometimes, and I think that's one of our undoings.
The quantity of drugs that have been pumping into the country, the cocaine and heroin, as a result of this new NDLA effort at that time to combat the spread of these things, the taking out of this drug, because as you know, it was already damaging the image of the country. And then the laws have to be amended to say, okay, it is no more death penalty, it is now life imprisonment.
More than 3 decades, this drug issue is yet to be addressed in Nigeria. Why? Because the members are very clever. They have their members in National Assembly, among the ministers, in the military, paramilitary, police, among others. It's not just crime that is common among less privileged.
As of 2022, a year ago, there are 14.3 million Nigerians from 15 to 64 years old that are abusers of drugs.
The policies are there, but the issue is implementation. And for us to do this, the security agencies, the government, civil society organizations, parents, teachers, all of us have to come together in order to tackle this issue of drug crime.
So one of the things NAFDAC did was to approve the classification of tramadol to be like a nationally controlled drug.
We have prescribed new innovations to be able to handle the drug cartel, because it's a highly organized crime, because they are fully funded, and because our penalties are not stiff enough, we're not able to curtail their activities.
Terrorist financing is one of the most difficult aspects of countering terrorism to address because of its innocuous nature. Things are done in the dark.
It's a global challenge, and that is why a lot of agreement treaties are being signed by different countries.
Another thing that we are not talking about is how terrorists are even grabbing lands, engaging in illicit farming, making multi-millions of naira from farming. They will grab land from citizens. They will farm on the land, and they will still ask citizens to farm on this land, force them to work on the farm, then gather the proceeds and use it to fund their own activities.
There is a clear distinguishing factor between terrorist financing and money laundering. Yes, it's a slim line, but we have to be very careful and understand how these two things work.
We have neglected identity, citizen identity. You can operate in this country, spend a lot of money without footprint. You can travel everywhere without footprint and spend all the money. And most importantly, this money is generated locally, like has been said.
Just like oxygen is to human, terrorism financing is also cardinal to every operation of every terrorist group. They see it very imperative, very important to their activities.
They say we need the political will for the government to act to deal with this problem. But more importantly also, we as members of the civil society need to cooperate with these institutions to be more effective and robust in their response.
Nigeria is a transit point. We have a lot of imports coming in through the ports. These imports normally sort of hidden where you have illicit, exotic wildlife and the rest of them. They move through Nigeria's borders and they move to other destinations. So the customs has been very helpful in this regard. We've been able to share intelligence. We've been able to secure some kind of convictions in that regard as well.
So whether you are able to solve your problem, that brings your problem to you. So what is the way forward? I think the lead presenter did a fantastic job by presenting the landscape of the problem. So the problem solution starts from ourselves, coming to on the understanding that we have only one country. And that this one country that we have, these same characters who are less than 1%, they are from the north, they are from the south, they are from the west, they are from the east. They are brothers and sisters. But they use our religion, they use our tribe to create a sense of confusion.
The politicians must understand this, that the country needs a complete break from the existing tradition and political culture. A complete break. If we continue the way we're going, you cannot stop crude oil theft. You cannot delegitimize the misconceptions of the man in the creeks. You can't.
You have section 390 of the Nigeria Criminal Code Act, C38, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, provides that crude oil theft is an offense punishable for 3 years imprisonment.
The laws need to be looked at primarily, and then there should be clear and transparent political will to address the situation.
I think that going forward, Nigeria must be present in every NYC camp in this country so that there is some sort of sensitization occurring with our young people about what you're doing.